Hello, 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 and welcome back. We have a wonderful, wonderful woman here to share her story. We're going to hop right on into it. Yes, please tell us exactly who you are. Please let the world know who you are.
Yeah, of course. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. I'm Tatiana. I am a first gen Latina. I am a licensed mental health counselor, a somatic experiencing practitioner, and a holistic coach. And I am just truly on a mission to help as many women heal their trauma and their nervous systems as I possibly can in this lifetime.
That's right. That is amazing. And before we truly dive into the transformation that you are providing for women all over, tell us about, walk us down the line of the before you got here, right? Before you were this amazing woman, what did it look like before your healing, specifically your nervous system? What did that even look like for you?
Yeah. I mean, I was living in survival mode. I was in this constant state of fight or flight and constantly falling into these states of burnout, fatigue, dissociation. And that's what my nervous system was stuck on. And I really thought that that was just going to be the rest of my life. And it really was until 2020 when I kind of hit this like rock bottom moment and I felt so unfulfilled. And I told my supervisor at the time, I was also working in community mental health. It was a place that was really contributing to my nervous system dysregulation. And I told my supervisor at the time, I don't even know if I want to be a therapist anymore. And she was like, well, maybe you just need to find some inspiration. So I did. I Googled some mind body trainings and I came across somatic experiencing and I had no idea what it was, but I was very impulsive at the time. Again, I needed this constant stimulation because I was always in the state of fight or flight. And I just signed up for this training, not knowing it was a 3-year program. And once I signed up, it absolutely just blew my mind. It made me realize that I could heal my nervous system. I didn't have to work in community mental health for the rest of my life. I started to think outside of the box. And so it was really interesting because before all of this, I was really chronically anxious. So I wouldn't even be able to have this conversation with the two of you back then. I would go into panic if anybody even looked at me or if someone was like, oh, hey, Tatiana, panic, straight panic. So I think that, just I'm living proof that I can, you can heal your nervous system, and having this conversation with you is just proof that you don't have to live in survival mode for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear that. I feel that. I feel that. I mean, I feel like so many go through that, and it's, so interesting that you were already in the mental health field.
Mhm.
It's just representative to me how many of us are like trying to help others, but hey, like within ourselves, we may need to do some sort of shift as well. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
And speaking of, I mean, many women pride themselves on just pushing through and hustling harder and trying to outwork everyone. That's just been kind of the culture. But you teach that our nervous system just plays a huge role in our success, our confidence, and even our mindset. Could you break that down a little bit more for us about why it's so important to address that?
Absolutely. So, our nervous systems are the foundation to everything that we do. So, every thought that you have, every emotion, every sensation, every behavior, every habit that you have is a reflection of the state of your nervous system. Every relationship is the state of your nervous system, is a reflection of the state of your nervous system. And so, I like to say that everything in our lives is either supporting our nervous systems or dysregulating our nervous systems. So, we have to be able to live more intentionally in a way that supports our nervous system. So, when we're thinking about hustle culture and pushing through and go, 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 that used to be me. That was sympathetic activation, fight or flight. And so, in order to be able to slow down and rest and not push through all the time, we need to help the nervous system understand that we don't need to be in these constant states of fight or flight. We can slow down and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the part of our nervous systems that help us feel safe, calm, grounded, connected, right? And so, it really comes down to safety, right? If you're in hustle mode, that's because your nervous system doesn't feel safe.
Mm,
Mm, that makes
mm,
so much sense. And I
mm.
can even see it like taking the opposite effect. Maybe someone's nervous system is so overwhelmed that they like are not productive enough. Like there is a balance with it. I can imagine.
1000%. And so, have you ever felt like, okay, I know logically exactly what I need to get done, but for some reason I can't get myself to do it? That is your freeze state. So, that's your nervous system being in the state of freeze. We have fight, flight, and freeze. And so, freeze and shutdown is like when we feel stuck, when we feel like, oh my gosh, I know I need to do XYZ for my business. I know I need to show up on social media. I know I need to, I don't know, get these errands done, but for some reason I can't get myself to do it. That's the freeze state.
Mm.
Wow.
I'm just so in awe of this conversation, especially when I have started doing the work of learning about different modalities to help heal things that I was going through, breath work and tapping and things like that. For the people in the back, because I'm one of the people in the back, right? Can you break down, you said it's called somatic
Experiencing.
experience. Can you break that down for us girlies in the back and what that is?
Absolutely. So somatic experiencing goes beyond tools. So when I think about tools, somatic tools can be like, for example, breath work is a great somatic tool that supports the nervous system, but tools are just coping skills. Somatic experiencing goes beyond the tools and it actually works with your physiology. So we're working directly with your nervous system to change your physiology so that you're not in this constant state of fight or flight. And so what we're doing is really working towards completing survival responses, moving through survival responses and discharging trauma so that you're not in these constant states of survival.
Oh, wow. Now you just taught me something new today.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yes, it is.
So good. This is just so good. I mean, So you said that like fear, limiting beliefs, even our business structures like are reflective upon that. So how can we start? You said like what the symptoms were, and you mentioned some things like the breath work and all of that. What are some things that women can start doing today to like rewire that nervous system and just at least get on the path to feeling better?
Yeah, absolutely. So, number one, it's creating safety in your body, creating safety in your nervous system. So, I like to use body and nervous system interchangeably, right? Because the nervous system is responsible for all of your internal organs. So, it's really your entire body. So, when we think about allowing yourself to be your most authentic and fulfilled self in your personal life and in your business life, we need to create more safety in the body. And we create safety by speaking the nervous system's primary language, which is physical sensation. The nervous system does not use logic. It only speaks through physical sensation. So if we can access physical sensation and connect with what's already feeling pleasant in the body, supported in the body, connecting with our internal resources, or maybe accessing an external resource, then we can create more safety in the body. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite somatic practices to create safety in the body. It's called the VOO sound. And what you do is really just inhale, and on the exhale, you let out a VOO all the way until your breath is out. So you really just want to go for as long as you possibly can until you can't breathe anymore. And then you just pause and notice the body, and you take your time. The VOO sound stimulates the vagus nerve, which is the primary nerve of the parasympathetic nervous system. So anytime you stimulate your vagus nerve or the parasympathetic nervous system, you're going to feel more safe, grounded, and connected.
Ready to grow your business without the grind? Visit growthwithoutgrind.com, the go-to resource for women entrepreneurs. From digital products and exclusive events to practical freebies and must-have tools, we have everything to help you grow no matter your stage in business. Say goodbye to burnout and hello to growth. Find what you need at growthwithoutgrind.com.
Wow. I'm so fascinated. Like hearing you teach this is fascinating, but even just thinking back to my own things and some of the ladies that are experiencing their own things, how this can truly help them in anything that they're going through in their lives as they're working towards healing. So you mentioned that you are first generation Latina, which we
Yeah.
do love, but many first generation women, especially communities of color, we're carrying generational trauma, right? That affects like how we show up in our lives, in our business, even just our day-to-day stuff. How do we even start to even think about breaking these cycles through what you teach so that our next generation can thrive? Like I know like a lot of things that we have learned starts with us, a lot of things, right? We've unlearned a lot and are working through a lot of things, but how can we even start this cycle so that the next generation is truly thriving in their life?
Yeah, 1000%. I love this question because, when we heal our nervous systems, we're not just healing ourselves. We are healing past generations and future generations. When we heal our nervous systems, we are quite literally changing our physiology and changing our epigenetics. When we change our epigenetics, we have the opportunity to not pass down our traumas to our future children if you decide to have children, right? And that's one way that you can break generational cycles, right? Because we are quite literally working with the physiology. And the coolest thing about somatic experiencing is that you don't need to unpack all of your traumas. You don't have to unpack every single experience that you've ever had. And you don't even need to unpack, you don't even need to know what past generations have experienced in order to heal your trauma, your generational trauma. Because again, we're only working with the nervous system, and you don't need to talk about trauma in order to heal trauma.
Say that again.
Mm-hmm.
No, so insightful yet so relatable. I mean, these are some things that I feel just needed to be, heard or said out loud so that because I feel like a lot of women identify, and I love that you're giving like some tangible tools that can be started like right now and to build on top of. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have to ask you a super important question, of course. This is the question that we're asking everybody, so there's no right or wrong answer. But what is one thing that you would tell a female entrepreneur about owning her journey, her individual journey?
Ooh, I like that question. So I truly believe that once you heal your nervous system, the possibilities are endless for you. You can own all of your experiences. You can thrive in your business. You can be the most successful entrepreneur if you truly connect with who you are at your core. Every woman has that inner wisdom, that inner knowing, right? That inner fire. And I think that if we can heal those unresolved wounds, we can access who we are at our core. And that is going to help you thrive.
Girl, you just dropped a bunch of bombs on us, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This interview has been so insightful for me. And I know Brittany can feel the same way because this was my first time learning about exactly what you do. I'm so fascinated in seeing how there are similarities but difference from traditional therapy to somatic experiences. Now I'm not the girlie in the back. So I really do appreciate this conversation with you as I am continuing the journey to do my work for myself. So like personally thank you for your insight and your words. I think all the audience, all the ladies that are going to be watching this are going to be in awe of you and thanking you for just exposing them to something different from what they know right now today. And that's even more important. So for that, I say thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate those words.
Yes,
You're
absolutely.
welcome. You're so welcome. So with that being said, those of you watching and listening, if you would also like to be featured and talk about your story, please go ahead and contact us. Use our link in bio. And for those of you just wanting a little bit more, make sure that you stay tuned for the next episode. We are just bringing you these heavy hitters, and you have a wonderful one.